or something. Been a while. Been a
Okay.
while.
Must feel rested.
I feel something. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Wednesday? Today's Wednesday, right? Wednesday, April 17th, live before lock. I am finally back on these live before lock airwaves. Joining me, my original co-host. What's up? What's up, Minnesota Jakes?
Yeah, gonna be a wet one here for the Minnesota Jakes. But
Yeah,
yeah, this
barely.
slate is a lot to figure out. So just got done watching the deeper dive. I'm sure you did as well.
I did indeed.
Yeah. But oh yeah, you were producing that, weren't you?
I certainly was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that by default. Not that I wouldn't have
Yeah.
been listening to it anyway, but I listened to
Yes.
it by default.
I'm kind of letting them do the pitcher analysis, Lafayette and Adam, just because I think they're some of the best, if not the best. So super interesting to hear some of their takes. Matt Harvey,
Yeah.
there were a couple other ones that got my eyebrows raised a little bit. But yeah, it should be interesting. I always like to try to figure out the pitching. I just have a little bit less time to do that with NHL going on, but we're definitely going to dig in here, hopefully.
So what do you know about that crazy person that launched a child to the ground at the mall? What's going on up there, man?
Wait, why are you asking about that?
I don't know, because it happened in Minnesota?
Yeah, so it happened at Mall of America. Yeah, super depressing story. I don't know if it was gang related or what, but yeah, just a really messed up person.
So awful.
Yeah. So
crazy Minnesota State. That's what
the kid is he's in stable condition though, is what I heard last. So,
that is awesome.
So very good to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, super random to ask about. Wasn't ready for that one, but
well, anytime anything happens in the state of Minnesota that I hear of, sure, you're the only person that I think about.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's quite the honor.
Yeah, you and Kirby Puckett, I guess. So, how you feeling about this slate? Because, it's not my favorite.
Yeah, like I said, interesting, I guess. I'm finding myself with a lot of the Minnesota Jake, literally Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, so, you and the rest of the world, apparently. Any day that there's 8 games on a DraftKings slate and Jake Odorizzi can be owned in half of the lineups, it's probably not the best.
I would tend to agree with that. He's missing a ton of bats. I was just kind of doing a quick look at like his swinging strike rate. It's over 14 in each of his first 3 starts. He's a guy who's probably still going to give up a bunch of power at times during the season, but I just like, where else do you go outside of Odorizzi? He's at a good price. It's a really good matchup. Toronto striking out against righties at a 28.7% clip to start the season, 82 WRC plus. So they've just been one of the worst teams against righties. Odorizzi, always got to mention, he used to have these reverse splits. Now he's more like splits neutral. So the righties aren't that big of an issue for him. So yeah, he's kind of my guy tonight, as bad as it sounds.
I just worry that, like, if he really ends up, if we know that that's for a fact, he's in 50% of lineups, I can't see any scenario where that's the right play if you know that information. So I'm not saying like you play 0, obviously.
For a spread approach in your pitching?
Yeah, well, like, in that case, I would be more likely to do, say, I don't know, 25 to 30, allocate a little bit more to anybody else below him, really. Like, someone's going to have a decent day down there. How good does Jake Odorizzi have to be for it to be a problem that you don't have him?
I think 20 plus DK points.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
And even 20 plus, you could probably still survive.
Yeah, depending on how hitting shakes out.
Yeah, exactly.
What a slate, man. What a slate. Where do you land? So you probably haven't even really looked at him. Any Carlos Carrasco thoughts today?
I'm not playing on FanDuel, but
yeah,
I was really heavy on Bieber, or not Bieber. I think it was Bauer, either yesterday or a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
don't have a huge issue with this Seattle matchup. There definitely are some strikeouts for Carrasco. What's his ownership looking like on FanDuel?
He's the chalk.
He's the chalk. Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know. His price. Let's see, his price is at 9,600. Yeah, I mean, it's a fine price.
Yeah,
good park to pitch in, and like I said, I don't think he's going to struggle to get swings and misses here. So I don't really have a problem with pitching chalk, especially on FanDuel, where you really, really need to make that only pitcher spot count.
Yep. Okay, so you're obviously hitching your wagon to the literal Minnesota Jake. What else are you looking at? Is it Hamels? Is it Kevin Gossman? Is it someone else?
I have Hamels almost near 50%, and I think he's come down a little bit. But yeah, I'm just kind of going straight with the chalk. Actually, in our last ownership projection update, it looks like Odorizzi's under 40, so
okay,
a little bit easier to stomach.
Yeah, that's
DK. Sure. Still going to be heavily chalky, but like I'm getting to more godly than I imagined I would. And I was the way I projected him, I was pretty conservative with my innings for him. I think I have him like 5 1/3 or something. He's just a guy that he can miss bats. Like I think if everything breaks right for him, he could get U20 DK points and maybe be a possible pivot off of Odorizzi if things go bad for him. So I'm over the field on godly. It's looking like Gaussman, 8,600, just too good of a price for him. So he's chalky. The reason you're fading Gaussman, or you would be fading Gaussman, is just for ownership reasons on DK.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's a stud by any means, but he's not priced like he is, which sometimes we see that on bad pitching slates. You see some of these guys priced at 10K where they're not 10K pitchers.
I like the godly call. Only 6% expected ownership. I just don't think there's any reason that he should be at 6% and Odorizzi should be at 39, separated by $100. I think Odorizzi is pretty clearly the better play, but I don't think he beats him. What, 7 out of 8?
Right. That's what you're betting against.
Yeah. So that seems a little aggressive. And if it helps, I also have Godley in for 5 1/3.
Okay. Good.
A little help there, I guess.
Atlanta's a matchup I hate attacking too. So I don't feel great about the matchup. It's more just an ownership thing.
Are you going to Braves bats?
Yeah, I am on Braves bats.
Okay.
They're actually one of my favorite stacks. So I'm hoping that game goes crazy one way or the other. They're right now 4th on my last crunch behind kind of the chalk Tampa, Texas Angels.
I guess I need to run a crunch, huh?
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Yesterday, I did not put my lineups in until 6:55. I should note, lineups locked about 25 minutes before that. So didn't go well for me, except for the fact that I had one break free and finish in the top 20 of a tournament, which got me just back to neutral. So,
It's too bad you didn't have a train of that lineup. Just 150 train.
So that happened to me during the NBA season, and I 5x'd.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah. But that was mildly FanDuel's fault. Their upload utility broke. But didn't matter because I cashed anyway. And that's all that really matters to me. Okay, so who's your favorite stack tonight?
So, yeah.
What's your priority for bats?
I mean, like I mentioned, Atlanta is up there for me. I think Godley's in general kind of a boomer bust guy. When he doesn't have it, he really, really doesn't have it. And he's hanging curveballs over the middle of the plate. If he does that to guys like Albies, I mean, the top 5, I think I would include Markakis. I'd play him more in DFS than what I think a lot of other people do, especially in the context of a stack. So that top 5 for Atlanta is just really, really, really tough. And if he doesn't have it, he's going to get crushed, I think. So Atlanta is the one that I'm kind of heavy on that I don't think is going to be super popular. And then it's Tampa, Texas, LA. Just kind of the obvious ones above them.
You mentioned the term in the context of a stack. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk about stacking because there is a new feature in Fantasy Cruncher right now. Don't know if you've seen this.
I did. I just saw that one.
Yeah. If you are adding in your stacks, you can now specify specific spots in the batting order that you would want to include in those stacks as well. So if you want to only get guys in the top 6 of an order, you can just uncheck the 7, 8, 9 boxes, and those guys won't show up in those stacks. I think that's a really, really awesome feature. So shout out to Dave. And Dave, I will do some interesting stuff for you later this week. I promise. I can talk without sounding even worse than I normally do. I think that's probably pretty appealing. We can't have any evergreen content on the site where I sniffle every 30 seconds. It's just not gonna hold up as well as we'd like.
True. Yeah, so I did see that. I'm trying to think how I would approach that. Maybe with because I don't know. I would probably want to keep 1 through 9 in my main stacks, because if you get 6 or 7 or 20 different variations in your 150 of a certain stack, you're not going to want to leave out the 8 or 9 hitter. You're going to want to have them in a few times.
Yeah. So I like the idea of limiting my secondary stack.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. I was going to ask. It looks like you're on the same page there. So yeah, I like that.
I mean, it's something that I definitely want to take a look at to see what the real impact is. But I can see running primary wide open, and then if you're doing, like in this case, I'm running a 4-3 on FanDuel right now, running that, and then running the 3 on 1 through 6 or something. And then the one-off can be anybody, but not a lot of one-offs popping up in the 9 hole.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? You don't want, in your 5-2-1 or whatever, you don't want your 2 to be, for example, Nick Ahmed and Caleb Joseph 7-8.
Probably not.
So
probably not.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. If I'm going to test that out tonight, I probably should.
That's not the only new thing we could point out.
Oh, transition.
Yeah, on the homepage, in the MLB section, we have a new piece in the dropdown, MLB Data Central. This is something that people have been asking for a pretty long time, and now we're just starting to get around to it. Everything in one place. So if you open it up, this is for DraftKings. You get the player, the salary, fantasy projection, their value, Awesimo's rankings, and their ownership across all 3 potential ownership spots, early, main, and night. Get it all in one big copy. So instead of having to grab it from different spots, it all aggregates into one. It also includes Alex's personal risk of game postponement. Can't beat it. We're getting there, people. It's taking some time, but we are getting to the features that we know everybody wants.
Yeah, we're listening, I think, is the important thing.
Yeah.
So this goes to show.
Shout out to Eddie on this one.
Yeah, Eddie Goat.
He is. The guy that gets it done on the back end.
No
credit whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the thing, too.
He's like the faceless man.
And he also just smashes in GPPs for a lot of different sports, too.
And is also just fantastic at DFS.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got my first 250 done. Let's run one last 50 lineup crunch of one main stack, and then merge them together and hopefully move a little bit faster and get this crap in here, because I'm not at my best right now.
Yeah, I understand it. You didn't have to do basketball today, though, correct? So you've been in just MLB mindset? Is that right?
So I'm doing basketball projections, but I am not like paying attention to who I want to play from a DFS perspective.
Yeah. So I'm getting back in. I was just doing NHL for a few hours there, and now I'm back into MLB. So if I call them like the Washington Capitals or something, feel free.
I don't know how you play them both at the same time and do a show.
I feel a little scrambled sometimes. But it's not that difficult. I mean, I've got my process, especially for NHL, pretty narrowed down to what I want it to be based on playing 100 or 200 slates this season or whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah, I hear you.
How does Eddie crush GPPs if he isn't allowed to play DFS? That's not that Eddie. We're talking about a different Eddie.
Yeah. 1-800 Eddie.
1-800 Eddie. Because that's who you call when you got issues. That's who we call.
That's so true. Way more true than false. All right, I've got my crunch in here. Let's refresh it and see where we're at. I've got 14 minutes to lock, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting inside of that window. And if we don't get an Astros lineup, it can't go any worse than it did yesterday, where I had 0 lineups.
Yeah, that's very true.
refreshing, and we're in. Wait, this can't be right. Did I save that in the wrong spot? Got like a bunch of Zach Wheeler. That doesn't make a ton of sense.
Josh, I can't tell because I'm delayed on our screen, but what and maybe we could talk about this off stream too or whatever, but the ranking of lineups, do you do that?
I do.
Okay. What's your like general process for that? I know it has to do with ownership and value.
Yeah, I rank on a couple different things. So I rank on sort of my aggregate chance of each individual player reaching their ceiling. So every single player has a certain target score percentage that they can get. So the lineup gets ranked based on that. They get ranked just based on total fantasy points. They get ranked based on their uniqueness, so essentially just ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that I've added this year for baseball, I rank them based on how owned the opposite pitchers are. So
that's what I'm trying to implement in mine.
Yeah. And that, so like it will push up teams that are playing against pitchers that are getting a lot of ownership and not necessarily but not necessarily push up teams that are bad stacks and facing pitchers that aren't getting ownership are going to be the ones that fall to the bottom for me.
Right, because even if that works, or even if they score 7 or 8 runs, you're not gaining leverage on the field.
Right. So I'm prioritizing places where pitchers are getting owned, and then all of the other sort of normal rankings. I just have weights on all 4 of them, and it just sorts automatically and spits it back out.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to set up late last night. So wanted to throw my monitor through the window at one point and just had to go to bed and call it. But
I get it.
Yeah, I'm not the best at Excel, but I've gotten a ton better just because I have had no choice. So I was also listening or watching Adam in the office hours. So I didn't know what your process was kind of like. I'm sure it's similar to his.
Yeah, I think we're doing relatively similar stuff there. So I just ran my crunch. I'm a little nervous about the 56% Carlos Carrasco that just popped up. But this doesn't strike me as the slate where I want to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I think I probably need a couple more shares of Lance Lynn and Jeff Samardzija. It's pretty barren at the bottom of FanDuel. So unless I just wanted to be random about it, and the fact that Carlos Carrasco's price is 9,600, that doesn't impede me from getting to any stack that I think is good. Those stacks that I like the most are the stacks that are showing up at the top. I'm massively underweight on the 2 biggest chalk stacks, but I still have some exposure. I'm really happy with the way this just shook out. Red Sox and Indians are my top 2 stacks in terms of exposure. And the Indians are basically unowned as of right now.
I should have played on FanDuel or Yahoo tonight. Yahoo's including these games, I assume, as well, right?
For their main, I honestly don't know. Yahoo runs slates of everything, so I generally just assume that whatever it is, they have it.
Okay. Yeah.
They're really good about having coverage to every single possible option. But I need 156 lineups, so let's just get these placeholders in so I can actually like feel a little bit more comfortable about talking.
Yeah, you do that. I saw a couple questions in chat I can respond to.
Hit them.
I don't think we had any in the premium chat. Of course, want to prioritize those guys, but they're asking lofty questions. Cool. I don't.
Well, we could take those questions as well.
No, there was one here.
Unless it was like about like Lofty, where did you get the things that cover your AirPods or something? At which point we don't really have those answers. I mean, I have my placeholders in now, and
okay.
I mean, what could be my legitimately real lineups? I don't get the sense that I'm going to be changing anything now.
What are your thoughts on Chirinos and Lance Lynn or Lance Lynn? Do we know for sure Chirinos is coming in?
I don't think that we know for sure. I think that's just sort of the implication that he will be coming in. I have zero interest in him on FanDuel. I think he's a good pitcher and all. just a really difficult thing to prioritize for FanDuel. On DK, I would have more interest if he wasn't the fourth most expensive pitcher.
What's he priced at on DK? I honestly haven't even
He's
looked at it.
$8K on DraftKings today.
Yeah, man, that's
like, I think he's good and all, but you're mildly limited in like what you can get out of that. I mean, like, there's no real scenario to me where he goes 8. It's just weird.
I mean, literally, I don't think that's even going to be possible. Assuming Stan can go.
Yeah, like if he's 7,200, then yeah, like I think he's certainly in play, but I can't justify that at 8K.
Right.
Although on a day like today, maybe you can. I mean, he's bookended by Trent Thornton and Zach Godley. These guys are at 3% and 6% ownership. We have 117% of the ownership, so that's what, 58% of all pitcher ownership going to 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's worth a flyer or two.
I mean, maybe. I saw some people confused about whether or not he's coming in, and that to me is enough to get off of him. So
not that I think that the Marlins or the Mariners are particularly good to begin with, but those are, they rank so poorly as hitting stacks for me that even the ownership of their pitchers on the opposite end is still not enough to push their stacks up for me. So they're still at the bottom. Mariners are just crazy expensive on FanDuel.
Yeah. So I'm
hitching my wagon to Red Sox, Blue Jays, Indians. Those are my top 3 today.
Do you know anything about this weather page, Osmo.com weather page, by the way?
Page or Twitter account?
Twitter account.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. I'm seeing it in Slack right now.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know if that was a real thing.
It is a real thing. I didn't know that it was a real thing either, if I'm going to be honest. But then I saw that Alex himself was following the account, and there was only like 7 followers at the time, so that I knew that it had to be legit.
I figured, yeah. So
my first assumption was like, this should be interesting. But I think it's awesome. I mean, for those that don't know, Alex at least has some mild information in his lifetime for this. His dad is a meteorologist, so it's not like just the DFS guy is trying to do weather too. Like, he's been rooted in it his entire life.
Right. So that's a nice little feature we've got. Twitter account free. Looks like Alex, I'm assuming it's Alex tweeting from it. He's got information on both the Texas game and the Minneapolis game.
Anything negative that we should be worried about?
I've
been treating them like I don't care. So
small chance of a rain-shortened game on the Texas Angels game. Rain projected 2 hours after meeting start. Minneapolis, it's going to be fine here. It's raining right now. It's going to start in a delay, and then it should be fine.
Okay, cool. All right, 6:30. So if you're playing on FanDuel, you have 5 minutes to get your lineups in. And I mean 5, not 35 like it was for me yesterday. You will ultimately be wrong, I promise. I'm really excited about the 3 teams that I'm heaviest on now.
Should be.
I like getting some Blue Jays if Odorizzi is going to be 10% on FanDuel. That makes me happy.
How is he only 10% on FanDuel? What's his price?
76.
So, I think he's under-owned there. Just looking at these other options that I haven't seen it. So
he's the 3rd most owned guy or 4th most owned guy. Eric Swanson's getting love on FanDuel as well. He's at 6K, so he's getting 12%, but 47% of the ownership is going to Carrasco and Hamill. So, and you're only totaling up to 100. It's really hard for lots of guys to look like they're getting ownership.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay. I mean, still seems
it's
pretty
good play. If you think about it like this, that's technically 20 and a little bit over 20 on DraftKings if you're 10 on FanDuel. So it doesn't seem as egregious then.
Yeah.
I only have 5%, so I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty much just going balls to the wall to Carrasco. So I really need him to right the ship. It's either that or I have it spread out against a lot of guys I have zero confidence in. And Carrasco is one of the few guys on this slate, I think, that can legitimately break it. So
yeah, I mean, he's the highest upside arm on the slate on FanDuel for sure.
I have him with twice as much quote unquote upside likelihood as Hamels.
You mean twice as much in your model to hit his ceiling?
Yeah,
Whatever.
so I have Hamels hitting it, getting there 9% of the time. I've got Carrasco at 18.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My dad's a doctor. Doesn't mean I know medicine.
Sure. Well, it's a little bit different.
But yeah, very little, quite a bit different.
Is the weather fine in Texas? Jeremy says. We just mentioned that there is a small chance of a rain-shortened game, according to the Osmo.com weather account.
Yeah, I am treating every game like they happen in full. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm not pulling anything at this point. I don't see any major reason to.
Okay, so let me flip over here to the DK exposures. Once FanDuel locks in 2 minutes, we'll give our home run picks. But
sweet.
No need to jam those in at the 0 hour.
No, yeah, exactly.
So, of these stacks on DraftKings today, who do you like the least? Rangers, Angels, Cubs. Those are the 3 chalkiest stacks per our ownership right now. Yeah,
I think for me, the Cubs are the least, my least favorite of those 3. Are you sure it's not Tampa third on DK?
I have Tampa 6th.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe my stuff's wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I like Tampa better than the Cubs. So if they're higher owned, if the Cubs are higher owned, then yeah, give me Tampa for sure in that.
I think I'm right.
You're probably right.
Well, now you've got me questioning it, so I'm going to double check it.
They're just cheap against Hess, so I figured.
As they should be. I'm kidding. David Hess is garbage.
He's bad.
All right, ownership, and then position. Filter out pitching. Hey, you've got me nervous now.
I'm not trying to make you nervous. You're probably right.
I doubt it. I have no confidence. All right, show this as a percent of total. I've got it as Texas, Angels, and then Tampa. You're right. Did I not refresh the table? Because that would make a lot more sense.
That could be it. Yeah, I've got Tampa third. I was like, man, Tampa could be low owned. No way. But yeah, regardless.
Why is that not showing up?
Excel fun, I'm sure.
I know why. Yeah, there we go. Rangers, Angels, Rays. I never filtered out the pitchers. So I was adding in the fact that Chirinos was getting a 0.
Got it.
Yeah. I used to have that filter there, but we got a question the last time that I did the show on like who was your favorite catcher. So I unfiltered my table and then I never put it back on there. So yeah, Rangers, Angels, Rays, Giants, Nats. So throw that Cubs question in the garbage because the Cubs were pushed up to 3rd because of Hamels ownership. Cubs are actually 10th, so I can see why you would want to not be heavy there.
Yeah.
Wow, Rangers and Angels are like just shy of double the ownership of the Rays. That's craziness. I know that that's an advantageous game, but that feels way too high. Who would you rather have less of, the Rangers or the Angels?
I have more Angels, but
okay.
Yeah.
I have the Angels grading out just a hair better on a dollar for dollar basis. That which is a bit skewed because Mike Trout plays for the Angels and he kind of breaks data.
Right. So I'm getting like 50% of Trout. It's crazy because you can fit him in even with Odorizzi and Hamels. Like it's not too difficult to fit him in as a one-off or even in a stack.
Guess what time it is?
It is Dong Picks time.
It is Dong Picks time, which could be such a weird thing to shout out loud. Yeah, I think we're good there. Let me pull up the Dong sheet. I have not made a pick in a really long time. I've not made a pick since Thursday, April 11th.
Yeah, I'm in a pretty big slump. So,
do you know if Tyler Flowers or Juan Soto went yard last night?
I don't think so. We probably would have heard from it if it was Chris's guy, especially. He would have let us know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them in for zeros. Chat, if Tyler Flowers or Juan Soto went yard last night, please let me know. Emac has 3 dongs and 6 picks. Jake, you have 0 in 9.
So sad.
Chris is 3 for 11. I am 1 for 8. You want to go first, or do you want me to?
You go.
Okay. Alrighty. If I am going to pick someone for today, who do I want? Who is going to be the most fun person to take? I'm going to follow right now. That's not the direction I want to go. I don't really have him owned. I hate taking people that I don't actually cheer for. It happens a lot. Wow. A lot of Red Sox showing up at the top of the list. 3 in the top 6 or 7. Can't go that direction. Let's do this. I'm going to go Nomar Mazara.
I like it. Mazara off of good old Matt Harvey. I like Freddie Freeman against Godley.
I'm cool with that. Alrighty, Dong picks are in. Nomar Mazara on my side. Freddie Freeman. Jake trying to break out with a Brave against me. Good luck.
Yeah, I forgot. I always forget the Braves are your team.
So do I. I have no idea if they're even playing well this year.
They've got a lot of good players. I would assume they've got a good record.
Yeah, I have not kept my finger on the pulse. That's for sure. So I don't know. What do we want to hit on now? What are your thoughts on what is going overlooked on DK? I'm going to update 1 or 2 things in the NBA projections.
Yeah, I kind of don't really think anything's going overlooked outside of the Braves stack. It looks like that's really the only thing that I'm seeing just against Godley. Like I think Godley versus the Braves in general is going overlooked. I think that's a really high variance spot. 5-run total for Atlanta. Like they're like the 6th highest owned stack or 6th highest owned team just in terms of aggregate ownership. So I'll take that all day for still a 5 implied total, decent hitting weather. A pitcher that does give up a lot of hard contact, especially when he's not on, and just a ton of good hitters. So I'm not really sure what people aren't saying about them. I get that everyone wants to go to Texas and LA, and I'm going to a lot of them myself, but I really, really like the 5-man Atlanta stack that I keep talking about.
I never get to the Braves, and I have no idea why. And it's really frustrating because I would probably watch a Braves game if I was heavily invested.
I feel like I always get to them, no matter what. I just always end up on some Brave stacks.
I feel like you did last year too, and I never got to them last year. I guess I have Steamer to blame.
Yeah, gotta blame it on Steamer.
Like it's not like I would want to have them. It would just be more fun. But I mean, today I'm neutral with the field, and nobody like really standing out. So I don't know.
Who's your favorite bat on against the chalk pitchers, Hamels and or Odorizzi? I think it's an interesting question.
Okay. Let's see here. So, favorite bat against Hamels. Oh God, nobody. I mean, that team's just garbage, right? So I guess the real answer. All right, let me hop to it here, and we can get it up on the screen so everybody can see it. Where is that game? Marlins. So my favorite hitter against Hamels, God, they all are in like colors that aren't positive. Isaac Galloway would be my favorite on Yahoo, where he's leading off at just $7. Shout out to Yahoo, who does not sponsor the Live Before Lock show, but we love them anyway.
Of course.
I mean, so like Galloway is the best dollar for dollar play for me.
Okay.
I don't get the sense that I would have a single Marlins bat in any scenario. I really just no one grades out well.
The one guy that I kind of like as like a leverage guy, I don't even think you really need to stack against Hamels, even if you don't like him. But if you want to take a guy, I think Brian Anderson would probably be my guy.
Okay.
So 3,600 batting third. Hamels does allow a lot of hard contact over the last couple of years. And I think he's the one guy that maybe could get to him. So I'll take some shots there. But yeah, it's really ugly. So I didn't know if you had a favorite.
Man, there are one, two, three, 4 guys on the Cubs lineup have a projected ISO north of 225. The highest projected ISO in the Marlins lineup is 146.
Seems ungood.
That's a great way to put it. Now, on the opposite, we don't have to worry. Odorizzi is the other chalk guy on DK, right?
Yeah, it's Odorizzi and Hamels.
Okay. So against Odorizzi, Twins are at home. Favorite Blue Jays bat on DK would absolutely be Grichuk. And then Smoke would be second. And those guys are not getting any ownership, and I don't really understand why.
They should be. Like, you should probably have exposure, whether it's mini stacks or whatever, to both sides of that. And I certainly do. So, I don't know.
JD Martinez, dong.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was number 1 in the home run model today for me.
Well, there you go. Take that to the bank. Just do home run props and retire.
Should.
How
much JD Martinez do I have? Considering the Red Sox are my number 1 stack, I can only assume that is a lucrative home run for me. I have 19% JD Martinez.
Is that a lot compared to what you have? A lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty high. Is that how many? Was anybody on? Oh, he homered on the first pitch. Cool, nobody on, so who cares? Solo home runs are like walks to me. Useless.
Wow. You're like walks to you
on a 10-game slate? I mean, like I'm happy he did it. It's a great base, but it doesn't make me like want to open up the app to see where I go.
Yeah, I make that mistake all the time of opening up the app right away after the first goal or first home run gets hit. So.
Well, yeah, because you like to see that it's $400 in entry fees, currently winning $28,000, and then someone else gets hit by a pitch and you drop 20 grand.
Right.
It's so frustrating.
Well, it lasted.
Okay, what can we hit on? This is it's a really difficult slate to talk about.
I agree.
You know, we had the show earlier. The guys in the deeper dive hit on it a bit earlier, but there's only so many words you could have for David Hess, Matt Harvey, Wade Miley, Frankie Montas, Jeremy Hellickson, Sandy Alcantara, Jeff Samardzija, Lance Lynn. It's like the opposite of an all-star roster.
It really is. The pitching it's just so tough to talk about when the pitching is so bad. Yeah. So,
and like it's really, really bad.
It really is.
And they're gonna just go out and spin some gems. It's gonna be some like unstacked lineup that wins a tournament, and Frankie Montas, Matt Harvey is the nut combo or something insane.
Yeah,
which no one will have.
Isn't Montas coming off a good start or something? Is that right?
You would probably know that better than I would.
Guy that I never really look into. So
yeah, he's just like a guy. I mean, that's how so many of these guys are in this slate. Like 4.54 FIP via steamer, a 7.5 walk rate, 3.5 or 7.5 K rate, 3.5 walks. Just like, yeah, that's like a league average pitcher in a pitching park facing a really good offense. That's another team. I never get enough Astros, and I don't know why.
You never get enough. Oh, you're saying you don't actually get them. I was thinking like, man, I can't get enough Astros.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, that like they rarely pop for me.
So how about this? Here's something maybe we could talk about. My highest ranking lineup. And granted, I may not have the best formula for ranking lineups or whatever. I literally just started doing this today, but based on ownership and each player's value, the highest ranking lineup, the pitching combo is Odorizzi and guess who?
Sandy Alcantara.
Nope. I'd probably feel better. It is Matt Harvey.
That was going to be my first guess, but I just didn't think it was possible for it to show up first.
And he's a guy who my model hates. He's a guy who historically does not get a lot of swinging strikes, at least the last few years when he's been really, really bad.
What do you have Harvey projected for?
That's the thing. I don't have him projected very highly, but Alex, or the ownership, or I'm sorry, the projections on the site. Let's see, where are they at?
I might beat you to this.
He is at he's under 10, so it's just purely an ownership thing, I think. But it does make me feel a little bit better that Adam thinks he could get swings and misses here. So
Harvey at 9.5 fantasy points in Awesemo projections, straight from Alex himself. I have Matt Harvey at a crisp 9.4.
Yeah, so doesn't grade out particularly well. But for 6,200, just as an ownership play, he's a guy that I am. And it's not just that one lineup. It's not just that one-off. It is, he's like my seventh highest guy, or my seventh highest lineup. He is on that as well. So there's a few of them. I see a David Hess in there, which is scary. It should be a fun night of not watching baseball. So I get what I deserve for playing Harvey.
How's playoff hockey going for you from a personal standpoint, I guess?
Oh, personal or financial? Well, I guess both. They've both been good.
No, from a non-DFS perspective. How's playoff hockey going so far?
It's incredible.
Did that child that Ovechkin knocked out wake up yet?
He woke up. He was okay. Concussion protocol, obviously. But yeah, that I didn't actually see that fight happen. I was like driving or something, so I caught just the end of it on Twitter.
Yeah, so did that kid.
Yeah, so there's some controversy about whether or not Ovechkin asked him to fight and he accepted or whatever, just jumped him, or I don't know. But yeah, not often you see a 35-year-old beat up a 19-year-old kid, unless he was asking for it, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It really puts it into perspective because when you say it like that, it sounds preposterous. And then like hockey people will just be like, "Yep, that's hockey. Can't take fighting out." It's like, well,
For me, I'm cool if they took fighting out because I'm I adopted hockey.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
No, well, yeah, I mean maybe, but I just I started watching like 5 or so years ago, and I just don't really care for the fighting. So some people really love it. I mean, if you love it, then whatever. But I just think it's not really necessary.
If you want to watch fighting, watch the UFC.
I agree. That's cage fighting. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not down with the NHL fighting. Just seems like a relic of a different time.
I agree. Let's leave that time in the past and move on.
Could you imagine if that existed in every other sport?
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that. That's why it's not in any other sport for a reason.
Like LeBron just comes down and hammers, and he just punches Darren Collison in the face.
Right, and the thing I always hate is just,
and he gets a 2-minute penalty for roughing or something.
Yeah.
Oh God. Jake should put his mouse closer to his microphone. I can't hear the clicking.
Sorry, I have to click to do what I need to do.
Yeah, you'll get over it, I'm sure.
Right.
Actually, I might be able to put a noise gate on there. Let's see if I can do that.
Is the Minnesota game projected to be just a delayed start? Yes, it is. It is. It's going to be fine. No, I don't care, Corey. I mean, if you hear my clicking.
Oh yeah, we're not taking that stuff that seriously.
I'm doing work.
All right. Do you want to go position by position? Give our favorites.
Yeah.
Are you good? Do you need me to carry anything while you enter your lineups or anything?
No, I can paste my stuff in right now.
Because I know you're dealing hockey too. So if you need me to keep talking for myself, I can easily do that for you.
No, I just saw the pregame skates, and it looks like everything is as planned. There's only one game starting right at 7 Eastern, so that's good.
I feel good because I can breathe through both nostrils now. It's life has gotten a lot better.
It's the little things.
It really is, man. I wasn't confident when I woke up this morning, and then it just kind of never got bad, so it was nice. All right, let's start at... Oh, go ahead.
You just didn't want to miss the show with me.
I already missed one, and it was awful. I bet Josh has never been in a fist fight in his life. You would bet incorrectly. I have been in 2.
We've done this show before. We've talked about this last year. I swear we have.
I'm sure we did. Yeah.
There's the comment I always love. This is a soft ass generation. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with it. Like it doesn't exist anywhere else. Like
UFC.
You can't just punch like another accountant in the face. You know this stuff. You can't fight people at your workplace. Yeah, it's craziness. Yeah, like, I'm not going to go up to insert other tout site here and just sock the guy in the kisser at a live final or something. That's not how this works. It's way easier to just be happy. All right. Favorite 2 catchers on DraftKings. Go.
All right. Here we go. We have... as far as exposure goes, it looks like Zunino is creeping up there for me.
As he should.
What's that?
As he should.
Is he chalky? I haven't looked at him.
Mike Zunino is my number 2 catcher on DraftKings.
Oh, nice. And then another guy that I always get to is... wait, is this correct?
Carrasco, 3 Ks in the first inning.
Kurt Suzuki is a guy I just love playing. So 3,700 for Kurt Suzuki.
Number 3.
Nice. We're on it today.
Number 1 catcher for me, Buster Posey.
Okay. He's 3 for me.
Okay. Well, we're cornering the market on the same catchers. Someone asked Chirinos. Chirinos would be 14th. Not as good for me. Bringing up the rear, Omar Narvaez.
Luke Miley is my last guy, but
He's
I probably
from the bottom.
What's that?
He's 5th from the bottom for me.
Yeah, so a bunch of these guys at the bottom that have 1 and 2 lineups probably got X'd out because they don't project out very well. So because I have 200 right now on my cruncher.
Gotcha.
But
alrighty, first baseman. I have 3 guys in a virtual tie at the top. One of which is not on the DraftKings slate, so this will really not matter. I guess we can throw Steve Pearce away. Let me add a time filter here so I can take those 2 games out. Okay. So I've got 2 at the top. Justin Bour and Ji-Man Choi. Those are my top 2 first basemen today. And I'm talking dollar for dollar upside.
Dollar for dollar upside. Okay.
So that is my target score per dollar.
Got it. Freeman, one of my favorite plays on the entire night for me. And then Choi right behind him.
There we go. Yeah. Freeman is 4th for me and separated by 0.2 of a percentage point here. So not exactly some sort of giant gap. Bringing up the rear, Logan Forsythe.
Ooh, Forsythe. I have 2 shares out of 200 with him, but I also have 1 share of Prado. He's
the second worst.
Yeah.
As he should be. Second baseman. I've got a tie at the top again. Danny Santana, number 1. Ozzie Albies, number 2.
I have those almost flipped. Albies 1, then Zober sneaks in there at 2, just because of the dual position eligibility, and then
okay.
Santana right after him, then Altuve.
Okay. Zobrist is 5th for me, but he would clearly rise further for ownership just because of the way that he can be rostered.
Yeah.
Third base. I've got a 3-way tie at the top, and then a little bit of a gap, so I'm confident in these 3, and they're all really good hitters. Josh Donaldson, Chris Bryant, Alex Bregman.
I like it. Those guys are all in my top 5. It is, for me, Cozart. I've got him as one of my higher exposed guys, which is weird, batting 8th.
Did you, is it a typo?
No, that is not a typo. Yeah, Cozart, just because of the Angels thing. He probably got cut off of a bunch just because I think he's getting some ownership and trying to get different with my LA stacks.
Sure.
But Donaldson, then Bryant, then Marwin Gonzalez. Some of these Twins are sneaking up for me, actually. Not great.
I have Marwin Gonzalez ahead of Zach Cozart. I have Zach Cozart 12th.
Oh, I know why it's Cozart. Third base, shortstop eligibility.
Okay, that'll make a difference. I was going to say, what, did you accidentally click the lock button?
Yeah. 100%.
100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. All right, shortstop. We already know where part of this is going, I guess. I've got a 3-way tie at the top, but this is a really jam-packed spot. If I gave any one of these guys like an extra 10th of a plate appearance, they might go for 9th to 1st. Javi Baez, Brandon Crawford, Andrelton Simmons.
Javi Baez, Brandon Crawford, Andrelton Simmons. I have Escobar, Simmons, Baez, then Polanco. So another Twin sneaking up there to double digits for me.
Homer, man. You're a homo. Whoa, that's not the words that I was trying to say. You are a homer. Homer.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It came out first, then it didn't come out second.
Moving on.
Yeah, anyway. Outfielders. You'd be surprised to know that the number 1 outfielder in my list, Mike Trout. Shock of all shocks.
Yeah, he is number 1 for me by just the longest shot. He's just too affordable tonight. Like 5,600, yeah, but the Angels are going to be chalky. He's chalky, so my cap is higher for him. Yeah, he's going to be in about half of my lineups, it looks like. Yeah. Then it is Chu, Soto, and Tommy Pham, all around 20%.
Okay, so I have Chu 9th, Pham 7th, Soto 6th. My number 2, Joey Gallo.
Nice. Yeah. Hard not to love playing Joey Gallo. I've got him, I think 7 or 8, tied with another Twin, Eddie Rosario.
Such a homer.
I know.
Such a homer.
Just got to kick back, watch this Twins game.
My 4th ranked outfielder. This is pretty exciting. A likely home run, Nomar Mazara.
Mazara, okay.
Ooh, who's my dead last outfielder? Rosel Herrera.
For me, it is Robles, Victor Robles.
He's I don't know, six off the bottom here. Wow, Trey Mancini is Dwight Smith is pretty close to the bottom, hitting 3rd. That's really hard to do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a sign of how bad you are.
Yeah.
I think we've hit every position, right?
I think so.
5 minutes to go till lock. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in either. Oh, Blake Griffin out. That's important news for me. Oh, that's not the game that locks at 7, is it?
Hopefully not. I was just going to say, hopefully it's a later game. He's Detroit, right? So he's late Eastern.
All right, so I will get those projections updated right now. There's no rush at this point now that it's 7:01.
Yeah, if anybody's got questions, feel free to drop them in. Hockey is locked as well. So good luck if you are playing the pucks tonight, the sticks. You'd have to be clinically insane to fade Nick Markakis. Dude is on a tear. I suppose. I mean, I'm playing Nick Markakis, Sean V, our buddy Sean V.
No buddy of mine.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't think any hitter in baseball you can fade. Yeah, like always a reason. It's like because you just based on projections, like how many points can you actually project the best player? Like Trout, you'll see in Alex's projections, he doesn't get above like 12 DK points projected.
Yeah, what do I have him at? Yeah, 11.5.
Right. And then there might be a guy that's projected at 8 that is a tenth of his ownership. So
yeah, like I mean, I have Randall Grichuk at 8.5 at 1.5%.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just the ownership game is so crucial in MLB, especially if you're MMEing. So if you can hone in on your process, you can hopefully make some money. Hasn't gone great for me this year. I don't know how you've been doing, but
I have certainly been buoyed by my excellent opening day start, but I'm very, very positive so far.
Okay. Yeah, good to hear. Been focusing more on hockey so far, but still need to up my MLB game for sure.
Although, I don't know. My normal day-to-day has been, really solid. I took one day to take like a really unrealistic stab at a qualifier because like that's more important to me than like just grinding it out.
Which qualifier?
FanDuel baseball.
They already have that posted?
Yeah, I mean, they've been running since the start. They're probably into like their 12th or 13th at this point.
Wow, I didn't know that. Does DK have that?
No idea. I have not set up anything for DraftKings yet because of NBA just ruining my life.
Let me see if they do have that. And feel free to pop in chat if you guys know or if you've entered these or whatever. But I don't see anything.
Tomorrow will be the 17th qualifier for FanDuel.
Wow. So they've ran one like almost every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I maxed one of those one day just because I was just like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care.
Where's it at for FanDuel?
San Diego, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. San Diego. In August or whatever, I'm assuming.
Something like that.
Yeah. Bring the wife?
I would have to.
Yeah.
She'd never let me not do it, especially now that she's gotten a taste for it.
Wait, you've gone? Oh, you went with Alex, right?
Yeah, I proxied Alex in New York.
Nice.
And she was just like, "Well, that's the coolest thing I've ever done. Why don't you do that more?" I was like, "Because I'm not as good as Alex."
Yeah.
And attempting to qualify is a really expensive endeavor.
It is, unless you bink early.
Yeah.
So those things are really, really tough to win. Like, would not recommend spending a lot of your bankroll on those. I think everybody says that, but just to reiterate, super fun experience if you can do it once, or a couple times. But I mean, if that's the only thing you're looking to get out of DFS is like trips and stuff like that, then go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I was. Like, I had a good first day of the season. I do not play DFS to make anything other than just stupid screwing around money. Like, I'm just as likely to cash out the money and buy an Xbox or something. It's purely just socially fun for me. So I had a little bit of extra from winning the tournament. It was just like, cool. I'll throw it at a qualifier. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'm in the same spot I was the day before.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't focus on it enough. There's just too much on the back end of this.
Right.
I'll roll the dice.
Queues are a whole different strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, your strategy should change a little bit for large field queues.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're playing thousands of people and it's the top 2 get paid or whatever, then you need to adjust your strategy, I think, a little bit.
Well, we are locked. Dong picks are Nomar Mazara for me, Freddie Freeman for Jake.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to play PGA tomorrow, stick around tonight, 9 p.m. Ben Raza, Jason Roslin going live talking about the RBC Heritage. I will be producing that show and playing FIFA at the same time, much like I do every Wednesday.
Hey, are you playing PGA tomorrow?
I doubt it.
Okay. I didn't know if you played because you watched the show and stuff. I try to catch the show, especially when I know I'm going to play. So,
if I weren't sick the past 2 days, I probably would. but I haven't like done anything in a while, so I don't have time to like try to think about it.
I think Yahoo has pretty good contests, right?
They do, and you should always be checking out Yahoo contests because not only are they our presenting sponsor, but they are going to be the best tournaments that you can get in. If you can get into any of their no management fee contests, that's the best tournament you will find anywhere in the industry. 10 max, so you're not up against 150 from every single pro. It's just going to be an easier time and an easier chance to build your ROI. So check out contests at Yahoo. And if you do that, go through a link at the website, or I can drop one into chat right now. It'll be very beneficial. Jake, anything else?
Go Freeman. I think I'm going to get on the board tonight. I think I might charge back and get a double dom out of Freddie Freeman. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to watching some NHL. Maybe turn on the Twins game, watch Odorizzi hopefully not blow up and destroy 80% of my lineups. But yeah, it should be another fun night of sports. This is the best time of the year.
There we go. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back in the morning doing it all over again for Thursday. Like and subscribe on your way out the door. Promo code is live before lock. 50% off your first monthly package with us. Any package you choose, including ones with Fantasy Cruncher. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're out of here. Bye.